that is a partnership that crosses 5 different countries in the Americas. And at the heart of it, it's all about providing support to what it is that Indigenous and other young people feel like they need and want in terms of climate, living well, living sustainably. So it's a research project that helps us to understand what that is, what it means to live well now, and what are the actual practices of adaptation and mitigation that are going on the ground.
Hello, my name is Mark Terry. I'm the project lead of the Planetary Health Film Lab, a research project out of York University in Toronto, Canada. As a partner of the Young Lives Research Lab, we work with Dr. Kate Tilichek and her team on the Youth and Digital Wellbeing Project. Now, the Planetary Health Film Lab trains Indigenous youth in remote parts of the world in documentary short filmmaking to tell stories of climate impacts and planetary health issues in their communities. We employ a participatory approach to our film training, ensuring cultural accuracy in content and storytelling in the films made by these young filmmakers. The films they make are presented each year at the United Nations annual climate summits known as the COP conferences, and they are also added to its database of video reports known as the Youth Climate Report. Now, since 2019, we have worked with Indigenous youth from many countries throughout the world, including the Arctic, Australia, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Belize. And for today's conference, we would like to share a selection of films made by youth from Belize and Ecuador, so you may learn how these young people feel about planetary well-being and the environmental issues impacting on their communities and by extension, the world. We hope you enjoy these films. Thank you.
Traditional Maya dishes, organic and delicious, play an important part in the well-being of the Maya community. Instead of relying on stores, processed, and canned goods, the Maya people cultivate their own crops using fresh and naturally grown foods, gaining nourishment that's both delicious and good for the body.
Haawim ka nakawi malao, haan na mas travel joke ka.
Di kuahan mas tento perkuhanan nakawiman hanan makakos saka kunit herero tsen piak or that is very important recall kuhan ay kana ko kos.
Mayas would grow their crops on farms, but some would garden and cultivate basic crops like pepper, oregano, halalu, tomatoes, and more behind their homes.
Para koshik yanaka choke ke chiris laka kochoch laka tawri ke laka kiras ke.
Eating foods from the earth is like getting a direct gift from nature, filled with all the goodness and healthiness that a body truly needs.
Especially kama nakakun cabbage, kama jipi japa, kama kakailu, kalalu, fresh and sa farm. Ana atakakusho kana kairip di khunshil khashe katone.
One of the most well-known food of the Mayans is the traditional caldo. The body receives nutrients from the caldo to maintain health and is cleansed by the organic grains that are added.
Caldo kacek-kacek, kaya biik, tingin na balem, kaya stew, kaya fish, alagyan sa fish kunin.
Andi na oksimal is samat, di ange, di kunin di skobam.
However, a modern trend of processed food has made its way into the Maya communities. These processed goods are often found to contain ingredients that can negatively affect the body. Regularly relying on processed food can therefore increase the risk of health problems for a person.
Kama tula ini, fertilize choche oksa tula ini, nat ire tula ini, syajok akwaran, chabil mak ay bansa. Kung kamata ta lok se kama kene manah kian napal kwang mokat kwang fertilize kwang achkirun benen arauna moko ustarak chokekelo anchochi ketok kela o
napal ityahel dio kachapom chik lao chik litoh tiogo chik I kawut poko lao chik ikashi nakahlakatsik hem lao la akhrachoch kakanabak tsektanan kil laka tiu amil nalem shikako chikish kauresin kil ugushutana tanarah nakhlao ka lanchi ili ka lao ka kush la ka mokos ka kushi shkhoni li kala na kir tiruli isulta ali kwang sali ruchi choch abanan lao arana palto lao nakhakhik nakoshutana kishkush bacho ili komon uthan li tsakal lahan di tsakal di kaurip salaka tiu am araot na lao yani na koshuke li tsekemain chabi li tiu amem.
Maya food sovereignty is interconnected with their way of life and existence. Using the resources provided by nature, people could preserve their health, environment, and their holistic well-being.
In the Maya village of Nalumka, that is found in the jewel of Belize, where the biodiversity flourishes. Farming isn't just a way of life, it is the lifeblood of the community, connecting our traditions with the land we hold sacred.
Farming is so important. The Maya people depends on the farm, depends on farming, and that is the way our life is, and that is the way how we live.
Most of the Maya people are farmers, even though some of them are teacher, policemen, soldier, but they still do farming. You need to plant your own food that you eat because food at the market right now are very expensive, and canned goods are not healthy, so we need to eat fresh fruits or vegetables that come from our farm.
But now, because of climate change, the village is dealing with dying crops, drought, severe floods, and problems with the germination of crops, just to name a few. This has made things even more difficult for the Maya community, especially when it comes to their food and livelihoods.
Our Maya people used to their planting season, but nowadays we see that those seasons or those time that we used to is not there anymore. It's changed the rotation of our planting and even the harvesting. So that is the effect of the climate change.
One of the biggest challenges here was drought. A long dry season and affect the corn, the rice that's supposed to be harvested. But now corn is short. I know rice will be short. And then I know the price of food will be very high.
To survive, the Maya communities depend heavily on the land, forest, and its resources. It offers food, a source of fresh air, shelter, and a timeless connection that bonds their past, present, and future together.
Forests are very important. They're important to the animals, to people, to the air. Forest is the lungs of the earth. It cleans all the chemicals, the gases that we have in the environment. We don't use tractors, we don't use bulldozer to damage the soil and the air, causing air pollution. We basically use our stick to plant, and then we don't plant acres, like thousands of acres. We plant maybe like 1 and 2 just to sustain ourselves.
We as Mayas, we don't do large scale, and we don't really destruct. I think we behind manages our resources very carefully. So if we go into the forest, we don't go and exploit it. We just get our whatever resources we need in the forest. We get it at a reasonable and sustainable harvest. We have a system that we follow, which is we call the forest use permit. That we are using, and then we have our people. If they want extract lumber now, we ask them to apply. So they apply, and then the leaders look at it, and then as long as there is no problem, then we grant them permit. Using the permit, they can harvest their lumber. Using that permit will help us protecting it so that we don't exploit it, we don't go over harvesting. My strong message is to let us protect our forests by educating one another. How do we go about using resources in the forest?
As the villagers unite to battle increasing effects of climate change, they realize that not only their survival, but the very essence of their existence depends on educating all generation about learning how to use the forest resources wisely. Remember, a healthy forest is a healthy people and a healthy community.
From the dawn of time, the Maya people have shared a unique relationship with the land. They take care of it, and in turn, the land takes care of them. Through their culturally chemical-free sustainable practices, farming nurtures the land, promoting biodiversity and long-term health of their flora and fauna.
Na katyaw jak unshida mukuni ke usaring ta chakiban cha eru kana ki kwanko cha unshid like kahpi sakal ke eru a inkir sa ala ko ke ma a chak pa ya sa tiampa an awon el pin ke eru sari chak muko ha ta ha ban awon kong chikana kon
kal hutsia kwan ken akhikus nauk an galak chikau ma ka benen khache ma ka ya naqaq diqaq al kwan stush bitche bas ka kan qisis stampa al par chabilik al nael porque ma ka tichen ta awonak aham na kin ste balan she kamsa roq she pierna akchisharu shat ok alenki shat tokhit ben haange chilomisa kwa kli chakre ichma kachi makota usar chbenen sa mas chabil chokre awi.
But then modern ideas started to come in. People thought chemicals would make farming even better, but it wasn't that simple. The fields changed, the forest lost their beauty, and the water got polluted. The villagers who used to be close because of their connections to the land started having health problems.
Kita an buku usta nakshat ko ochibanok kanah kwang nakishke utahap an kishkam pene kishkam to sa rokat naha parki ak nakaput ah jaka ha re pene iti biru nah banu na oksa ha nakeruk akar amasan ita kichala uina konshat ko wichila ko chi shok bale sha sit chaka ke ta amsare ta useka tip ene sa marah ut shat panok kawasa kikana ene chiruha chot kita ene tian nah kamsish metsewa chot.
Even though chemicals seemed like a good idea, some people started to worry. Sure, they could get more crops and faster, but is it worth it?
Kusari habenen res kamsing kil lipachaya ut na teng alik al des
kihik. Nakistang abenen rera inkil sink al. Ut humpatah ki nak esh kihik lik al. Ut nak tem ahe maki. Chish kam sinkil di sang. Ashtib al kiliru. Nakungko banok. Nak am sakal. Ashke chikawu kiru li choch.
Nakos lalain. Nakish kaili bene nake para kona kana wahtapi asal kairo takwi sakalishtia la lilo marak ma chabil takwi usarin kilo minka takwi pero kwang han sakala masakish usari li kristian pero mika takwi kele katyakhel ot nakish usari hama bene an para chokwe la inak kwang pi nak mari aran tio katawam li katyakhel para kabasha ota ina halihi na kwang hi chabil hana el pero kuna kanal tiban ma chabil takwi sakal lina kat sekana kana kesh beneni rubel kakal.
The villagers have to make a tough choice, realizing that the forest, land and water that plays a crucial role in their survival is hurting because of the chemicals they're now using. The quick benefits of chemicals in hindsight is not as important as the wisdom of their ancestors and the culturally sustainable practices passed down from generations.
Thatch houses serve as an indispensable cornerstone within the Maya community, fulfilling practical, social, and cultural needs. These traditional structures not only provide essential shelters but also weave together the threads of communal unity and cultural heritage among the Maya people's well-being. The forest acts as a natural hardware store, enabling the Maya community to get all the resources they need to construct these buildings.
Yokomalo chululche suche olaktiwadikinono pap ich subul ya cortes le kabe yan chilikali no San Jose ik pachabe beltona ka hok eso bishu pachi lule kebal abe umand kebe kaman menahabe meyahabe katun ka kecha hok so yahmin chail bishahsik che shol tihera porque tihera na holak timetik no San Jose akayanton waye no na olak tu sartik San Jose chen hadi pai likak yanton waye sekak etela tes yan nak ulak pimiente ak hadabe olak tu sartik tu shanili bishati ak teche ma tapum erat kushtabula che pokuman baka kushache tiena baka kushu.
Working together to build thatch houses holds great importance for the Maya people. When they join forces, they strengthen their community's unity and shared goals. This teamwork goes beyond just making homes. It also keeps their traditions alive and helps them learning important skills together. By building houses as a group, they share knowledge between generations and become more resilient as a community. This way, they can finish building houses faster and have more time for farming, art, and other important activities.
Belaka meteabe ti 6 to 7 años umuk awala kuantartika chuyu tutsilabe. Meya hado 6 sapo pachil konti 10 tulo baka usarte uwa kumbulo inobe. Pai be os sempre os man kabukabe. Pai ka kini ka wa kunte chaka kushik 10 tula mo sa bakushu katun plus tunti belaka chuyu abe 30 tu chukula vini ku katie per ku tuni shabe belaka wa kunta na hum ilche baka wa kunte katuna akak tau ti put bulat tutsu porque no chen voluntary work kalau kami di bahil chen anak bahil tip ko tiempo te ke wa kontuk ini bikin di baka wa konte bila ka wa konte pes buka yanuk ini di baka ka putut sil tu sama lila be tu ospek ino lo kucai ka be ka keston kochitun yore ti baka chuyu tu tutsu amenah ti yana chiashkin wakti menach marzo abril mayo umuk de ka muchika kino de te ka be yashkin tutsu chen walak ti kek ti ka tutsu ko walak ti ka putik yo or katikula tiempo tutto bene. Importante katika so ti mam ti meheno porque ya bache pele kabe ma chulul che ti waku wantarte bona shan porque che olak tu sarti kinono ye tanto lik a che olak tu sarti la ko tek una tsuma de ti wadi ko mai pele kabe importante sa ho ukunik ukato ukuchuk aba utaka che yo kol ti ka ko liktun ti ala de ko to no metiklikati to bai le ko chabe sahti kan si ko ti mam o shanti ho ti mehen le ko chabe importante ko maskuno ma to tubulu ka ti costume ti bobe.
Overall, Maya people teamwork in building Dutch houses shows how coming together benefits everyone and keeps their culture thriving.
Kaya kuaka kuzuzu tsayo hana maste zuzu tsawai kuma hawa cross pungo da astom ki yakuaka komra malta omra gonna gastaita porih astom rikos porihanci.
Yachanchikmi uksha urkukuna yakupa yallipacha kashkata. Chashnapash achka allimi kan allpa suchurita harkachu. Uksha ukupi chikan uchilla kiwakuna yurakunatapish wakichinkapa. Mayhan pishkukunapaq azin, shinallataq taruga, urkukunapaq hutku, shukta uywakunapaq wasikunata yallinkapaqpish. Shinakashpaka kay urku uywakunata shinallataq allpa uku yakutapish wakichinkapaqqa hatun mama urkukunaka mana sindishka uksha lluchishkapischu kanakan. Kunan watakunapika mayukunami rikukuyta pichiyarishka. Mayhan yaku wacharik pugyukuna karin chakishpa shamushka. Kunanka ashtawanpish ashtawan uywakunata yuyupak wiñachishpami hatun urkupak ukshakunatapish rupachinkuna. Wagrakunapak kiwata mirachinkapa. Kay llakimi ashtawan hatun yashpa shamukun. Chashnallatak mayhan uywakunapish ña chinkarishkakuna kan. Maypi llatanja sakirishka purunkunapish tunirishka mirikuri.
1985, 1990 monta wichimunka kutin. Hintipish miran, hinti miraspaka kutin anilkunataka yusun charinka mana ñawpashina asitala charin kutin. Yaji wagrakuna hundashpa hawa urkukunataka yajiga wakchayachin uksakunash libre uchillayan. Chawpipish kutin mashtin uksakunataka rupachinka hintikunaka. 87, 88, casi 1990 gamaga hambacho niskakunaga chingarinka mana tiyan maypi mana rikurin. Chay kayla niskakunapish chingarin. Siapunchakunaga mana paktayakutian kunangka mananya ñawpasina larka pips yakutaka hitsaytukun chayka kunan punchakunaka ña tuberiala apamuspa yakutaka chay riego niskataka turnulapi rurarin.
Yakumanta rimakpika ñukanchik llaqtakunapa hatun urkukuna rimakukshinami kan. Kay hatun uksha sapikunamanta rumi ukukunamantami wacharimun chikan llaqtakunapi wiwakunaman, murukunaman, shinallatak runakunaman kawsayta karangapaq. Jinjin llaqtapa urkukunaka hatun paktaytami wakichin. Kay urkukunamanta Columbe kitillipaq sukta chunka kimsa ayllu llaqtakunaman yakuta yallichikushkamanta.
Mama llaqtapaq uraniglla chiri llaqta koltakitipi sakirinmi Majipamba ayllu llaqta. Chaypika murukunata pukuchikuna shinallatak wiwakunata wiñachinkuna. Manuel chay llaqtapi murukunata pukuchik mashi willanmi. Ayllu llaqtapaq ñawpa kawsayta yuyarishpa ashpawan shinallatak pachamamawanka alli mashikuna shinami karka. Chashnallatak llaqta murukuna tiyachun ñatanpaqkunami karka nishpa.
Kunan achka tiempo cambiarin mana seguro cosecha ponza kunapish tamya samonza ñawpa yayakunaka señalado ponza cosechapuk tarpunapu ñawpa yayakunaka charirka ponzata. Kunanka imarapish tamyanza imarapish usyakanza mana seguro kan trabajaspapish kay llaqtapi trabajunapish mana confianzata charin. Clima achkata cambiarin. Chaymuntami asha llakilla kawsanchik campopi trabajkunaka ñukunchik.
Pachakuna yallishpa shinallatak pachamapayashka kashkamantami ashpaka wakchirimushka. Kay llaqtakunapika ñukanchik hatun taytamamakuna tarpuna pacha shinallatak pallana pachataka hawallami riqsiqkuna karka. Pachamama wakchirimukpika tukuymi shuktak laya tukushka. Kunanka tarpushka murukunapi haya hambikunata churana tukushkamanta shinallatak pachamama wakchirimushkamantaka tarpuna ashpakunaka chingarimushkami. Chaymantapish murukunaka ñamana ñawpakuna shinachu pukun. Shinapish pukuchinapaqka achkami vali, hatunapaqka mana achkatachu pagankuna. Chay shinaka tarpuk mashikuna llakipi churan. Ashtawanpish wiwakunapish llakita pashkakunami pachamama. Yakupish mapayamushkamanta. Ñawpakunaka kultakuchapi chay muyundikpi kawsak mashikunapaqka charwakuna tiyak kashka. Chinapash kunanka charwakunaka tukurishkami mapa wirakunawan. Shinallatak antawakunapaq mapa kushnikunawan kucha mapayashka kashkamanta. Yachaysapa taripaq kaytami nin.
Tenemos un crecimiento de la temperatura global y eso es algo muy complicado en todos los sistemas humanos, especialmente en la agricultura. Va a generar cambios muy complejos y a los cuales nos tenemos que adaptar de alguna forma. Por lo tanto, las pequeñas comunidades necesitan ver las formas en que ya tenían ustedes tecnificación desde el tiempo antes de los incas. Realmente ya había una tecnificación. Hay que retomar esos saberes y también utilizar técnicas más modernas que no son tan costosas, pero que también permiten una producción continua o una producción mucho más estable de las diversas cosechas.
Ñukanchik pachaca achka llaki tukunallami tiyakun. Kunanmi pachamamata kawsachinapaqqa allichishpa kallarina kanchik. Ñukanchik pallatak alli pachata charingapak shinallatak ashpakunapipish murukuna kawsaypak tiyachun.
Cañar marcamanta sisira yuyaktapi, ñawpa pachakunapika, tarpuykunami puntaka kashka, alli kawsaymi kashka. Chay tarpuykunapika mana ima haya hambikunapa churanchu kashkakuna. Kunan pachakunapika, ña tukuy chay alli kawsayka tukurishkami, ashtawanka runakunaka wakrakunatami wiñachikun shinallata ñukanchik pachamamata achkata llakichishka urku ukshakunata rupachishpa chaypi tiyak hampi yurakunata chinkachishpa ashtawanka yaku ñawikunaka ñami chakishpa rinkuna shinallataq kunan punllakunaka achka haya hampikunata imapipas churankuna chayka achka unkuykunata apamun pachamamaman ñukanchikman wiwakunamanpas shinami kay taytaka nin
yakukunata mapayachinchi chay hampikunata hawashpa chaykuna achka animalkunata unkuchin chay animalkunapish mana hampiwankaña mana kawsayta charinkuna chaymantami kunanka achka llakita apanchik shinashpa kunanka kaypi ñukanchik más bien murukunata mana yalli mana kullki necesitarin chaykunata puku chinkapaka chaymanta kunanka animalkunata wiwakunata wiñachinata mirachinata yuyarishkanchik chaymi kunanka kiwakunata churanchik kiwakunata achka kiwas rurashpa wiwakunata mirachinchik wagrakuna vakakuna ovejakuna kuchikuna chaykunata mirachishpa katunchik chaykunawan chay kullkikunawan ashata churanakunatapish rantinchik
hampi yurakunamanta rimashpaka
yurakunamanta nishpaka kunanka maypika kullkita charigachaki doctorkunapa marishpa chay plantitakunata ña mana tarpunchik mana charinchik
chaymantami kunanmanta pacha ñukanchik pachamamata allichishpa kawsana kanchik ñukanchik shamuq wawakuna ama llakipi kawsachunkuna
Canchi, cosita, esta cosita, caimán. Na cosita canchi, saragota, ya pasa. Tengo un yelito, sarago canchi, na sonrisan de gota, cosita canchi. Yo creo que esta nara, pues, chuyu, ya pita, ya me escapa, chuyu, no se tocó. Y chuyu, pero na, yushin, pasa pita. Van gracias, yushin, na, poco.
Yari causa de primera vez para hace 30 años cuenta que chaypika kushnika tutandi punjandi nina kushnika na joshi hopi impactante karian amma chay mapa mundo narekta rico y ñuka paka yaki pacha karian Europa tikaspaka kunan kay pachapi kausaypi kay momento kausaypika kay tarpuy kunapika ongoy alita pacha llakichinachu por ejemplo pundaka tawka variedad papakunata charin karianchi y kay ñukanchi llaktapi nishu kay agato urku kunapipas papataka tarpu karianchi fukuchin karianchi pero kunambika ña papataka ña natarpi ushan kay fábrica kuna factoría chay sisata tarpu chay yaki mapa chay contaminación chay químicokuna tukuy ladoman afectan kankashka soberanía alimentaria nishkapaka kay lancha unguymi ninan hatu unguy kan.
Le sueltan polvo y el polvo se va todito al tanque de agua y está contaminado eso.
¿Qué podemos hacer? La manera más eficiente y barata de poder mitigar gases de efecto invernadero alrededor del mundo es plantando árboles. Y eso es lo que hacemos.
Yukanchi alpa mamama mangakutin paipa kushihuyman paipa yachayman paipa karayman tigraspa y chay tigraypika rikushpa yakutin randi ñukanchipas payman tigrachinata yana kanchi karaykunawan kushi tarpuykunawan punta natiashka muyukunata viña chichispa kirukunata tarpuspa kutin ñukanchipak alpa mama chay huyayman tigranata yana kanchi.